Okay, it's 5 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. Pursuant to MGL 7C 30A, Section 20F, after notifying the chair of a public body, any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of a meeting of a public body or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Beginning of the meeting, the chair shall inform other attendees that any such recordings. Any member of the public wishing to speak to the meeting must receive permission of the chair. The listing of agenda items are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed. Other items not listed may be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. Meeting will be recorded by CTSB, the town of Great Barrington, and the Bertha Ed. Okay, the first item on the agenda is our recognition of the retirement of Chief Paul Story. It's a bittersweet time for the town. I'm very happy for Paul. And the town loses a very, very good police chief. So let's start. We have a proclamation from the select board. Whereas Police Chief Paul Story devoted more than 3 decades to public service in the Southern Berkshire region, beginning his law enforcement career in 1989 with the town of Egremont, serving in the town of Sheffield and joining the Great Barrington Police Department in 1995. And whereas during his service in Great Barrington, Chief Story advanced through the ranks, promoted to sergeant on January 1st, 2010, appointed interim police chief on December 10th, 2020, and appointed police chief on January 13th, 2021, providing steady leadership during periods of transition and growth. And whereas Chief Story strengthened the department through a leadership approach grounded in professionalism, integrity, accountability, and respect, while fostering strong internal teamwork, community trust, and collaborative partnership, including expanded engagement with mental health providers. Whereas Chief Story emphasized service that is both principled and compassionate, encouraged participation and responsibility at all levels, supported the development of future leaders, and recognized the importance of wellness, resilience, and mutual support within the department. And whereas Chief Story retires on January 4th, 2026, leaving the department better positioned to serve the community with confidence, care, and shared purpose. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the state select board of the town of Great Barrington hereby extends its sincere gratitude to Police Chief Paul Story for his dedicated service and lasting contributions to public safety, community well-being, and conveys best wishes for a meaningful and well-earned retirement. Paul, please come up.
Phil, thank you for letting us here.
And then Paul, stay right up front. No, Representative Davis.
Yeah. So I really wanted to be here today because Chief Story has done so much for the community. As someone that knows the community more than anyone else, that has been, really mentoring children and mentoring everyday folks. So I've known you since you were an officer and obviously moving into the role of chief. And I've seen you through the years. The work that you've done with mental health, accreditation, and working with CAR, and just see the folks that are here. You've touched so many lives, and you're one of these role models that when I think of someone in law enforcement, I think of if we had a Paul Story in every single town, we would be so much better off as a nation, as a community. And we're so lucky and so fortunate to have you here. And we're going to be in good hands with Adam Carlotto. And I think, just having you really be the helm for so long, for more than 30 years, very deeply appreciative. And I wanted to make sure I was here to give you this citation from the House of Representatives. So it's not quite as long as the other has, but I will read it. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offer its sincerest congratulations to Chief Paul Story in recognition of more than 30 years of faithful and exemplary service to the town of Great Barrington. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all your endeavors. And thank you so much. We really super appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Fast.
Hey, just a couple quick words. It's been an honor to serve Great Barrington. From 1967, I was born in Fairview Hospital. And here I am, 58 years old, served my community for 30-something years. I couldn't have done it alone. And from the people I grew up with in Housatonic to the people I've worked with over the years, all the officers, my family, my children, all the kids that were part of my coaching career, everybody played a part in who I am today. And to be able to spend 30-something years and still love your job, I hope everybody can find a career that they love that much. And it's just been a pleasure to serve my home community. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the officers to make us successful. We did take over a time of transition, but I couldn't have done it alone. I did it with our group of officers and every member of the police department. So thank you.
Next on the agenda is the police department accreditation, and I'm very proud to say I call on Chief Doherty and Chief Carlotta. And not often I would get to call on two chiefs.
Pardon me, but did we need a roll call vote? I mean, a roll call
For what?
for presence?
No.
Okay, well, let's turn the page here. First, I want to congratulate Adam Carlotto. Me and Adam have worked side by side for over 20 years. He's also risen up through the ranks, another local officer who has deep ties to the community, to the town. I couldn't ask for anything more than have him take over and succeed my position to continue the work that we started over the last several years. So congratulations, Adam. I know you're gonna do a great job. Now the good part, accreditation. Accreditation, for those who don't know what it is, it's we just achieved our 4th reaccreditation from the state of Massachusetts for being in compliance with 300 and something policies, standards that they require, that the state requires. It's a pretty intensive process. It shows that your agency not only has the proper policies in place, but that you're actually following those policies and procedures. Kara Becker is our lead accreditation manager. She's the one who's charged with managing all the files, make sure all the paperwork's done, submit to the state. It's just more than you can imagine that goes into it. A lot of work. I believe we're pretty much been the only department in Berkshire County that's been accredited. I know Williamstown is very close to being accredited. That is an accomplishment in itself, just to have that commitment. So I want to thank Kara. I want to thank the command staff, Chris Peebles, Tim Lord, Adam Carlotto, and all the officers who pitched in during the reaccreditation evaluation. It was, again, a team work that we had to do to get through the process. It was a 3-day evaluation of our police department, policies, procedures, fiscal plan, records, evidence room, you name it, they cover it. So we made it through. We haven't officially gotten voted for, but I believe we're all set.
We did, it became official now.
Oh, it did? Okay. So it came officially, so we are reaccredited. It's shows the dedication to all the men and women of the Great Barrington Police Department. So.
Yeah, just like I want to reiterate, thank you to Kara, without her, we wouldn't get it done. Just the amount of work that goes into it, it's incredible. So thank you again, Kara. And again, without the officers doing the actual work, the boots on the ground out there, doing the best practices, following through, it wouldn't be anything to be accredited without you guys doing the work. So again, the officers, to Kara, and a quick shout out, Chief Walsh got this started years ago, when I was just a young lad in the department. So yeah, quick shout out to Chief Walsh for kind of putting us in motion.
Yeah, we're very proud of our force and the people on it, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Select board's announcements, statements. Bill,
No, nothing.
Ben,
Just congratulations again to both chiefs. I don't know, I forget if we've talked about this, but Chief Doherty was the first officer to ever pull me over. When I was 16, about 22 years ago.
and you still sign this project?
And I still, yeah, I think it's a testament, and I don't think I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I was driving too late on the learner's permit, so you called my parents and made them drive me home. So that was me. You have a permanent place in our family lore as well, but just thank you for all of the work you've done over your career here. You have really had an amazing impact on the town. So thank you, and Happy New Year to all of us. We have a lot of work to do. Great Barrington PD will be an integral part of a lot of that work, so I'm excited to get to it.
Garfield.
Not too much, just thank you, gentlemen, thank you, Paul, thank you, Adam. You guys did a great job, looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, we'll start off with, there's a farmer's market in Housatonic this weekend from 10 to 1 at the Hoosie Dome, always a good time. And then also wanted to state my thanks to Chief Story for just all his years of service and, you know, being there for me throughout all my phases of life, when I was a rebellious teenager to getting onto the planning, what am I on? Selectboard. And helping me out throughout all those ways, and I just knew that I could always trust Chief Story to be there for me and my friends, and I just know that the comfort level to be able to have that open door policy with the chief, and I'm sure it goes through for everybody. So just wanted to say thank you, Chief, for all that, and excited for Chief Carlotta to take the reins. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. The only thing I have to say is Saturday was a busy day, and one was the celebration of Henry Knox. And another reason to be proud to live in Great Barrington. It was a tremendous event, and what the chiefs don't know is that one of the state officials stopped me right before it began and said, "We deal with police forces all over the state, and yours is top notch." So they were really, really happy how well it went. So thank you very much. Town manager's report.
Thank you. So for my town manager's report for January 12th, 2026. Residents are reminded that snowplow season is underway, and the highway division will continue to clear roads in accordance with the town's established procedures to maintain safe travel for all. To help manage expectations and support efficient coordinated operations, residents are encouraged to review the Residents Guide to Snow Operations on the town's highway division page, which outlines plowing priorities, driveway and mailbox guidance, parking restrictions during snow events, and how residents can assist in keeping roads clear and safe. Understanding these procedures enhances safety and helps the town deliver reliable snow response services throughout the winter. A friendly reminder that annual dog licenses are now due. All dogs 6 months of age or older are required to be licensed each year through the town clerk's office. License fees are $10 to $15, and proof of current rabies vaccinations is required at the time of licensing. Residents may renew online through the town's website, in person, or at town hall by mail or using the Dropbox. So thank you for helping keep town records up to date and supporting public health and safety. The Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection's drinking water program has confirmed that the town manager, myself, will be included on future correspondence issued to public water systems in Great Barrington, including Housatonic Water Works, alongside with the Board of Health being notified. This enhanced coordination supports the Select Board Strategic Priorities Plan by strengthening municipal service delivery, regulatory oversight, and interdepartmental communication. receiving timely notifications related to public health orders, enforcement actions, sanitary survey reports, system status changes, and permit decisions will improve situational awareness and support proactive, coordinated responses that protect public health and safety. Since December 1st of 2025, when reimbursement limits were increased and enhanced outreach efforts were launched, participation in the Housatonic Waterworks reimbursement program has accelerated significantly. In just over 6 weeks, the town has distributed over $41,000, nearly matching the total amount reimbursed during all of FY 25. We're only about less than 1,000 off right now, in less than 6 weeks. During this period, the town has received more than 40 online applications alone, reflecting both increased program awareness and continued community need. A shout out needs to be made to Natalie Amendola and Lisa Richards in my office for guiding all of these residents with their reimbursement applications, as well as a shout out to Kathy Couch in the town clerk's office for assisting with the outreach efforts of postcard mailings and distributing the postcards to various town buildings, so they're available that way as well. In addition, the superintendent of schools has confirmed distributing the program graphics through parent e-newsletters within the region, so that will be there for the next 2 weeks. Residents can learn more about the eligibility requirements and how to apply by visiting the town's website, which has a dedicated page that can be found on the home landing page, as well as my page and the select boards. Affordable Housing Trust will be attending the select board's meeting on February 9th. It has been confirmed to provide an update on Prosperity Way project. This update will support the select board's strategic priorities related to housing, transparency, and effective municipal service delivery by providing clarity on the project's current status, oversight structure, contractual relationships, and next steps. The discussion is intended to ensure shared understanding, accountability, and continued coordination on this important affordable housing initiative. Great Barrington has been identified by the Commonwealth as meeting the eligibility criteria for designation as a seasonal community under the Affordable Homes Act, based on established housing and seasonal use metrics. This potential designation aligns with the select board's strategic priorities and long-term community sustainability. Additional meetings will be scheduled to explore the designation in greater detail, including an introductory discussion planned for January 26th select board meeting. In parallel, I have been coordinating with local and state officials to encourage greater engagement by Great Barrington and other Southern Berkshire communities with the Seasonal Communities Advisory Council, recognizing shared regional challenges and opportunities outlined in the council's 2025 annual report, which is available on the town's newly created Seasonal Communities webpage. The planning board held an open space and recreation plan public forum on Saturday, January 10th, with approximately 25 residents in attendance. Building on this engagement, the planning board is proceeding with drafting the open space recreation plan goals and strategies. Community members are encouraged to stay involved in the process as the process continues, with the plan's focused discussions scheduled at various planning board regular meetings on the 4th Tuesday of each month. We continue to make progress according to the FY 27 budget action calendar. Department heads have met with me in early December for preliminary budget reviews and have since submitted proposed position changes and operating budgets for my review, with capital requests and fee change proposals now underway. I want to thank all department heads and staff for their thoughtful engagement with the updated budget process and for their openness in early discussions as we work to align departmental needs with the town's strategic priorities. Residents seeking more information about the budget process and key milestones are encouraged to visit the FY 27 budget page that can be found on the town manager's page. The town, this is a little different news. The town was recently contacted by Randall Reich, who is advancing nomination to honor George Begnell I think I'm pronouncing that right, Bignell, a former Great Barrington resident who lost his life on Christmas Eve in 1929. For inclusion on the Wall of the Fallen, an honor recognizing tow operators who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their profession. This nomination effort originally initiated in 2021 and paused during the pandemic, has been reactivated and is now a priority for Mr. Reich in fall of 26. As part of this effort, Mr. Reich is seeking to connect with any surviving descendants of Mr. Bignell's family to share information about the nomination and its significance. Community members with knowledge of or connected to the Bignell family are encouraged to reach out to me as the town manager, and I will connect them directly with Mr. Reich. In December, Director of Public Transportation Tate Coleman was awarded a competitive scholarship from the Massachusetts Rural Transit Assistance Program, which fully covered all costs associated with his participation in the National Rural Transit Assistance Program / Transportation Research Board Conference in Austin, Texas, resulting in no expense to Great Barrington taxpayers. This recognition reflects Great Barrington's growing leadership and innovation in the rural transit field. While at the conference, Mr. Coleman presented and led a workshop on his research quantifying the quality of life benefits of rural transit, including a case study conducted in Great Barrington during 2023 to 2024. He also participated in sessions, emerging technologies, current research, and best practices, and engaged in peer exchange with transit professionals from across the country, further strengthening the town's role as a leader in this industry. Lastly, over the past several weeks, the town has received multiple public records requests regarding the distinction between unofficial meeting materials posted online for public convenience and the official public records associated with various public meetings. While posted agendas are regulated by the open meeting law, packets made available on the town's website are not official public records and are provided to support accessibility and informed public participation. Discussions regarding the content of these unofficial packets rest with the chair of the respected board or committee. Consistent with the Select Board's municipal service delivery strategic priority, particularly focused on transparency, consistency, and customer-focused service, I request a future public meeting discussion with the Select Board regarding whether it wishes to establish shared expectations or policy guidance on how unofficial meeting material is presented online to ensure a clear, consistent, and reliable experience for the public. Such guidance would support staff, boards, and committees while providing the public with a clear, consistent, and reliable experience when accessing meeting information. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, approval of minutes. We're gonna skip over November 17th. There was a question. So we have the minutes of December 1st and December 15th, 2025. Do you have a motion?
I move to approve December 1st, 2025 and December 15th, 2025 minutes as included in the packet.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Licenses and permits. It's an application for a temporary beer and wine license by Jessica Eichstedt, Great Barrington Fish and Game, 338 Long Pond Road for the following events: ice fishing derby Saturday, February 14th, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Ham shoots every Sunday from February 22nd to March 29th, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Is anyone here? Online, there we go. Do you want to just give a shout out what your events are, just a little publicity, or?
Yep. Sure. So I'm Jess Eichstedt. I'm from the Great Barrington Fishing Game Club. Our first event will be an ice fishing derby, which we try to have every year, depending on the weather, if the ice is good. It falls on Valentine's Day this year. It's a cute, fun little event. There's door prizes up at the club, raffles. It's so fun. That's if the weather's okay. And then after that, we have our annual ham shoots for 6 Sundays in a row, just because Easter's early. It's starts at noon and usually over by 3, but you never know. It's a good time.
Thank you.
You
Do
welcome.
we have a motion?
I move to approve a temporary beer and wine license by Jamie Eisted for Great Barrington Fish and Game Association, 338 Long Pond Road, for an ice fishing derby on Saturday, February 14th, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And a series of ham shoots scheduled to occur every Sunday from February 22nd through March 29th, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Do I have a second?
A second question.
Question.
How does one, sign up for these, Jess?
For which one? Like our ice
Any of
fishing
them,
derby,
yeah.
we're down there. I'm down there at like 4:35 o'clock in the morning selling tickets for it. And then the ham shoots and stuff, people can call in at 9:30, or you can show up in person at 9 to sign up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? So we have a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have an application for new common victualers license by Sandra Viviana Moreno, Nelson Lozada, and Betsy Polito, BNG Patisserie LLC, DBA Patisserie GB, located at 313 Main Street, to operate a cafe with 26 tables. Proposed hours of operation are Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Is anyone here?
See,
There we go.
Yeah.
Great. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about your new business?
Sure. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. We are happy to introduce the Patisserie, a bakery that has been part of the Great Barrington community for many years. We are excited to become the new owners, and our goal is to respect its tradition, keep the quality for people, and continue serving the community with care. Um, yeah, that's it. All of you are welcome to enjoy our products.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a motion?
Yeah, I move to approve the new common victular license as presented to Sandra Vivian Marino, Nelson Lozado, and Betsy Polito. BNG Patisserie LLC, doing business as Patisserie GB, located at 313 Main Street, to operate a cafe with 26 tables. Proposed hours of operation are Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. through 7 p.m. Pending any and all outstanding sign-offs from relevant departments and boards.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
just to say, I'm very happy that you'll be continuing the business that I think has been a great part of downtown for over a decade now. So, yeah, congratulations. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Good luck to you.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We did.
Next is an application for a new common victualler license by Matthew Scott, Optimal Holdings LLC, doing business as Soko Creamery, located at 5 Railroad Street. To operate an ice cream shop with 24 seats. Proposed hours of operation are Tuesday through Sunday, 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. And this is continued from December 15th. Is someone here? What's the board's pleasure?
Well, my pleasure. I would like to
We will
see
skip
them come
over
since
this.
it's new.
Yep.
Yeah, come show up to this, please. There's no one.
Okay, next is a application for a new common victualer's license by Jose Hernandez Vasquez, L. Mueller LLC, located at 284 Main Street, number 8, to operate a cafe without traditional seating. Proposed hours of operations are Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Is there someone here from this?
We are here.
Oh, great. Just if you want to just come up and give your name and just tell us where you are and what you're opening. little advertisement, never hurts.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pascual Francisco, and he's my family member, Jose Vasquez. He's going to take over the, what used to be Taqueria Azteca, burrito place right inside the Barrington house. Under a different name, Muller Burritos, Muller. So he's basically doing the same, burritos, same cuisine, same, flavor. He's just going to take over.
Sounds good. Do I have a motion?
And move to approve the new common vicular license as presented to Jose Hernandez Vescal, Malure, LLC. Located at 284 Main Street, number 8, to operate a cafe without traditional seating. Proposed hours of operation are Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., pending any and all outstanding sign-offs from relevant departments and boards.
Do I have a second?
Second with question.
Questions?
I don't know what, without traditional seating, I don't know what that means.
Mostly to go orders. Yes, that's how we have been operating for the last 20 years.
I don't get out.
Counter service.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is an application for a new driveway permit by White Engineering on behalf of Melton Sawyer and Mark Zuskovich, located at 177 Division Street. Just state your name for the record and
Hello, my name's Aaron Biazin. I'm with White Engineering. And I'm representing Melton Sawyer and Mark Zestovich. So their property is located at 177 Division Street. This area highlighted in blue is the proposed driveway. This is not, meets all the driveway standards. We have flat area coming off the road, enough for the car to make a safe stop, look both ways and continue on into the site. The topography kind of declines. We do not exceed a 10% decline at any point during the proposed driveway. Are there any other questions?
Do I have a motion?
Just a quick question. We have the two applications today.
Yep.
Is it a coincidence that they're right near each other on the?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do I have a motion?
Yeah, so I move to approve the driveway permit by White Engineering on behalf of Melton Sawyer and Mark Zuskich, located at 177 Division Street. Sorry for butchering up everybody's name here.
It's okay if you do it all, butcher everyone's names and you're not discriminating.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And just say it with confidence, like I do, I have no idea what. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Next one is application for a new driveway permit by White Engineering on behalf of Greg Navens and Dana Foster Navens, located at 172 Division Street.
So once again, Aaron Biazin, White Engineering, representing Greg Navens. He's located at 172 Division Street. This property was a little bit trickier. This driveway, the yellow portion was put in before the Navens purchased the property. It only went about halfway up the property. This property was pretty steep of an incline. So he's looking to finish off the driveway and keep continuing up to the proposed house site up here in orange. So the brown area is the rest of the proposed driveway. We plan on utilizing what was already existing that was put in. There was no previous curb cut application when the previous owner did that driveway, so we're looking to kind of continue the work that was there. We've already gotten approval from the Conservation Commission because it is in Scenic Mountain Act and we did meet stormwater regulations. So we were approved by the Concom. This property is a little bit trickier because due to the steepness of the property, the best way we can kind of get a driveway while minimizing the impact of the area was to do it at a little over 12%. I believe it's 12.25% steepness. So This one was a little bit tricky, to get up to the proposed site, we had to kind of do some switchbacks to, in order to climb elevation and keep the grade kind of consistent.
So I don't know if you've seen this, I just got something from the fire chief that is making the recommendation that you decrease the grade from 12% to no more than 10% and increase the overall width of the driveway from 12 feet to 20 feet while providing adequate space at the top to accommodate turning around a fire apparatus. The reason for these recommendations are due to access to the residents by fire department apparatus being limited by grades in excess of recommendation in 527 CMR, as well as limited turning radius on corners leading to the dwelling. These limitations would be increased exponentially during times of inclement weather. Is that something that's gonna be a problem? We can table this or continue this.
We're probably gonna have to, cause, to get it to 10%, it's gonna be more grading work and have the proper turnaround areas at the top. We're probably gonna have to go back to Concom, cause there probably will be some more tree clearing at the top.
So I'd suggest you get in touch with Chief Turner, you can talk to him.
Yep.
And come back to us.
Okay.
And so we're gonna remove this from the agenda.
Sounds good.
So I apologize for getting this so late.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, next under new business. FY 26 Community Development Block Grant. Application for housing rehabilitation serving residents of Great Barrington, Egremont, and Stockbridge. Vote to submit grant application and vote to allocate previous CDBG grant income for contingency. So I think Chris is gonna lead us through this, and then we have some guests. Oh, you're here. I'm promoting you. I didn't see you there. You're almost impossible. I see that. Don't, you know, it's been a long Monday. Don't try to trick me like this.
I am Chris Remble for your record. So you all know last month on December 18th, the Lieutenant Governor and Secretary of Housing and Livable Communities announced our grant award for FY 25, which is fantastic. And I know it sounds a little bit, out of sequence. The FY 25 funds were just awarded, and we're just beginning to implement that process. And now, Housing Livable Communities has the FY 26 program applications open, which maybe we'll hear about next December. But first, we're seeking your input and authorization to go ahead and apply for FY 26 to continue what so far has been a really successful program. Our program manager, Bailey Boyd, and our housing specialist, Berkshire Community Development here, if you have any questions about the housing rehab program itself. But in general, the program is aimed to, it's one of a variety of initiatives around housing, in addition to acquiring land or building. That's a big part of affordable housing in the town, is to keep housing that is affordable and that is already occupied by low and moderate income families, or rented to low and moderate income families, to keep that livable, to keep it efficient, to keep it safe. So these CDBG housing rehab funds are critical to that. It can pay for electrical upgrades, roof replacement, furnaces, leaking pipes, bad foundations, all of these sorts of things. We've used it for the past several years in a joint program with the towns of Stockbridge and Egremont. And Great Barrington's been the lead, and it's been a very successful program. 10, 12, 14 units per year spread out generally equally amongst the three towns. And so it's been a really important program. So that's an overview. If you have any details, I can try to answer your questions.
Chris, I guess when you say 14, you mean 14 applicants from each town or total? Like, how does this, I think it's a fantastic program, and I like that multiple towns are working together to make this happen. I guess just as far as applicants from each town and how does that work?
historically, I think it's been 14 or so total. For
Yeah.
the three towns, and it's been about split equally between the three.
Yeah.
There's no requirement that it be equal.
Yeah.
People apply, and based on eligibility, if they're income eligible, and if the scope of work needed meets the grant program, then they'll go through the process of contractors hired, oversights provided by our contractor, by our consultants. And then the project proceeds. So it's really who's eligible, what's the work needed, does it fit the program? So yeah, over the past few years, it's been about equal between the towns.
Yeah.
I should say that one of the reasons we apply as a joint venture is that it allows us to apply for more money. Single town applying can get just a little bit less money, but a joint initiative, we can get a little bit more money. Housing, I think we all can recognize is a regional need, and crisis of affordability certainly is regional as well.
Is there set amount of money that can be used or borrowed or in this program?
I believe the projection for FY 26 is about $60,000 to $70,000 max per project. So that could go a long way towards a few significant upgrades to a home. Not all of them are that high, some are less, some are more. If you get into lead abatement and hazardous materials abatement, if you're doing windows, costs tend to escalate quickly. So that's part of doing it well and keeping it safe.
Sure.
Yes, it sounds like there's a lag to the actual funding coming from the state.
The funds come from the federal government through the state.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lag.
So just generally speaking, and I don't know how much this really matters at the end of the day, but if the people who applied for the fiscal 25 program, roughly when did they apply, and how did they end up having to wait a while for the money to show up?
That's a good question. If I could ask Dawn maybe to talk about, or Cassie, to talk about the timing of the funds and the applications.
It's really about, is it something that we could do differently to make that all work smoother?
No, I'm Cassie Boyd Marsh from Bailey Boyd Associates. I'm the town's grant administrator for your current grant. So folks apply once the funding is secured. So right now, the town has received the FY 25 grant award, but the town needs to procure a grant administrator, a housing rehab subgrantee, and then once all of those barriers for startup are completed, applications start coming in. So no one's filled out anything more than a one-pager showing interest to join our wait list. And we're wrapping up FY 24. So it's a cycle. It's federal fiscal year 25. So it was allocated last year in the federal budget. Then it gets taken to the state, and then, that's part of the reason.
Okay, so the people who are applying, you're probably not showing them something, these dates on it, which will just confuse them.
Exactly. Once all the procurement is started, they'll get notice that, it's time to go.
I have one more question. Maybe I'm skipping ahead, but the proposed motion to move to allocate $25,000. I'm wondering if you could just explain what's going on there.
So the town of Great Barrington has had this sort of program for a decade or two in various iterations with various partner towns, sometimes on our own. So homes that have received grants in the past have a lien on them. And in some cases, they have to pay those liens back at sale. And those funds come back to the town for the lien. And they're deposited in a very specific grant account for housing rehab purposes. That's where the funds stay. That's what they can be used for. But we would seek your part of your motion here tonight is to specifically say, we'll have those local funds available to support the projects that you need. There's usually not that much in that account. And if you asked me, I couldn't tell you how much was.
Okay, that's fine. So we're sort of an operational bridge account, if we look at it.
Yeah, and part of it is, if there's a particular project that requires more funds as some sort of contingency. There comes a point in the federal rules and the state rules where you can only spend so much on property. But let's say something happens where a project needs more money for some reason, or extra mold abatement or something like that. those local funds can supplement that project. Which will be good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I guess, how would one even know that this exists? Like that with a person that's struggling in their house or whatever and roof's leaking? Is this something they would have to research, or do we outwardly advertise this, or how does 2 points connect?
We do advertise it.
Yeah, this thing that everyone sees, right?
Yeah, no, for the actual program, there's a page on the website and put that out and into the news media and whatnot. We work with our consultants to make sure that everybody knows about that. We work with the 3 towns who are part of it, to make sure each town gets it out to their citizens. So over the years, if the rate of applicants is any clue, we've always had more applicants than we have money for projects.
Yeah.
So, I think the word is getting out. But
Okay. Is there any use of, like, since we have so many more applicants than money, does that translate to possibly more money each year, or?
Well, there's a few factors I think that makes our application strong every year. Number one, we use all of the funds and we can show that there's always a need for more.
Great. Yeah.
So it's certainly plays into our favor.
Excellent. Thank you.
Anyone else? Do I have a motion?
I move to submit an FY 26 regional CDBG grant for housing rehabilitation and to authorize the town manager or designee to sign the grant application and associated forms, and further move to allocate 25,000 from the CDBG miscellaneous income account to use as a contingency for the FY 26 housing rehabilitation program.
Do I have a second? Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good seeing you again.
Good to see you.
Joanne Lemon from
Yes.
Ulster Community Development. I just want to say currently there's 37 Great Barrington residents on the wait list. Just Great Barrington. 9, yes, and the FY 24, which is the current year, we did 9 residents or 9 projects in Great Barrington out of 18.
Great.
So,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you very much for coming to the meeting.
Thank you.
Next is to vote to grant a trail easement at Elmwood Cemetery to Berkshire Natural Resources Council in accordance with a vote under Article 22 of the May 6, 2024 annual town meeting. This is you. I don't have to promote you. Go ahead.
Oh, the motion was great. This shouldn't be news to the select board at town meeting. As Steve said, we did receive the voters' authorization to go ahead and work with the NRC and create an easement through this unused portion of the very back of Elmwood Cemetery. The idea is so that BNRC, Berkshire Natural Resources Council, can connect its trail system, its high road trail system, through this wooded area back to the Thomas and Palmer Preserve property. So making one large connected system. So yeah, the easement plan was drawn up. The document was reviewed by town council and BNRC. And so having your formal acceptance based on the town meeting vote is the last step in this process.
Do I have a motion?
I move to grant the trail easement to the Berkshire National Resource Council for the continuation of the footpath to form part of the Berkshire County High Road Trail Network as authorized by 2/3 vote on Article 22 at the May 6, 2024 annual town meeting.
Do I have a second? Any questions, discussions?
Just say that each time a new trail starts and gets added to, and it's just very exciting.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
Do we have any date when this will be started or even completed with?
I don't have a good answer to that, Garfield.
What a bad
Bad answer. It's, well, I will tell you this, BNRC has been emailing me quite often to hopefully have this easement signed so that they can start the work. So I think they're going to start as soon as the weather allows. Let's put it that way.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, we're good. Next is a vote to accept the affordability restriction for 2 apartments at 268, 278 Main Street in accordance with a vote under Article 18 of the May 3rd, 2025 annual town meeting.
Actually, Steve, I meant to say this in the beginning. I am gonna recuse myself from this.
Okay.
Here, because I did work on these apartments specifically, so.
Perfect. Thank you, Eric. Chris, go right ahead.
Sure, the affordable housing restriction is, something that is required by the Community Preservation Committee in exchange for the CPA grant for affordable housing for 2 units here. This is kind of a 2-phase project. The previous grant awarded 2 affordable units, and we signed an affordability restriction for those 2 units. Next year, or maybe there was a year lag, CPA and town meeting granted another $150,000 towards this project, with the proviso that 2 more units be restricted for this minimum amount of time. Again, this is something that's been through town council, and there's a precedent from last year, the last time we did this with this group.
Any questions?
Yeah, I just have a clarification, Chris. Just looking at the, in page 1, the restriction and the language about the particular standard. There's a sentence there, it says this restriction shall not be invalidated if tenant income increases above the 90% AMI over the period of the lease. So my read is that this is attempting to say that if a resident started living at the apartment and they qualified, and if they were, say, fortunate to get a raise, you make more of a higher compensation that they could not be essentially evicted from the property. Is that the right way to read that?
That's exactly correct. Yeah, the intent is to judge eligibility at the time of the application, and then that's great. If somebody makes more money during the term, they won't be kicked out of the trust.
Okay, I kind of struggle with that language, this restriction shall not be invalidated in that scenario, but I don't wanna play lawyer on that, but it sort of saying something a little different to me, but I'll defer to your judgment.
Any other question? Okay, I need a motion that says we're gonna move to accept the affordable housing restrictions as proposed in the packet to meet the term and intent of the FY26 Community Preservation Act grant, restricting 2 units as affordable for a minimum of 15 years. Good, so move.
So move.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So it is 4 votes and unanimous. There, thanks, Liz.
Eric, just don't sign that.
Thank you.
Next is an update from Assistant Town Manager Chris Rumbold on the fiber installation project in Housatonic.
Really happy to report that initiative that the Selectboard started several years ago is complete. It's the building of the fiber optic backbone in Housatonic. You recall that when the state did the middle mile build 10, almost 15 years ago, it did not include Housatonic, and having direct fiber optic cable access there has been an issue for a while. So what the town did with a local appropriation of capital funds, as well as a state grant, we were able to work with Berkshire Fiber Connect LLC. We selected them as our contractor after an RFP process. They worked with the utility companies to do all the make-ready work, to string the fiber optic cable. It basically went up Route 7 and 183 through the sort of circled through the center of Houstonic Village. And in addition to that, they brought fiber optic to 3 town buildings, the community center, the library, and the fire station, so that those can be connected. Not only for the public users in those buildings, but also through a dark fiber direct municipal connection for town network purposes. And finally, the fiber optic, backbone, as we'll call it, will form the backbone of a Wi-Fi network in the village. So if you're in the park or outside the community dome, you'll be able to access this Wi-Fi on this high-speed network. So I know it's an issue sometimes in the village to get a good cell phone signal. If you get a free Wi-Fi, that will pick up the slack. So very happy with our contractor Fiber Connect. We'll send out a press release that gives some more information about how customers, if they're interested in connecting to this network, can do so. But really happy to say that this is just about wrapped up.
Perfect. Any questions?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, just to say, first to say thank you. I know this has been years in the making. So thank you for seeing this through, and to Fiber Connect for seeing this through. Very much needed in Houstonic. Timeline on that, the Wi-Fi network installation, are those hotspots in place or?
Hotspots aren't there yet.
Okay.
We'll make sure when they are that we'll do some public outreach to let people know what it is and how to log in and utilize it.
Do we have a timeline?
Next few months.
Okay, it says target spring 2026, is that still the target?
Yes.
And just where exactly are you kind of thinking the range of it would be?
We kind of map it out based on the panels and how strong they are, and where we can put them on public property. So, mounting on Ramsdale Library may be problematic because of the storage structure, but in terms of the playground and the Boozy Dome and fire station, should be able to cover quite a bit of the village core.
Chris, thanks again for, as Ben said, thanks again for all your work on this. This has been, it's taken quite a while and it was much more complex than anyone can imagine. But I want to appreciate Fiber Connect that is really taking great effort to work to connect the 2 Great Barrington Housing Authority sites that are covered by this work, the Brookside Manor, as well as Flag Rock in Houstonic. So they've been very diligent in trying to make that happen. So and also they plan to provide, as I said, discounted services there. So that's appreciated.
Anyone else?
I just wanna, it's great to have this finally going into Houstonic for multiple reasons, but also I feel like competition with fiber optics and high-speed internet and all that stuff is very valuable. And I feel that as this has been slowly going on, there is no signal in the center of Houstonic, and we hear about that a lot. So that's going to be very helpful. But also just the other company, whether it's Spectrum, Time Warner, whichever it is, it seemed like that service was always very questionable for the longest time too. And it's so now I think when there's competition, better services always arrive. So I'm appreciative of that.
Yeah, there were and are other services there, but their build out is much more limited.
Yep.
And they're not necessarily 100% fiber, sometimes it's cable backed. So this is a true fiber optic system.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, Michelle, yes, please.
I'm Michelle Revere, 70 Division Street. When I was looking at this, I got a little bit confused because I live on Division Street. My side of Division Street is Van Duzenville or Housatonic. I go to Housatonic Improvement Committee meetings and we know you and I, Eric, have had a debate. What is, you refer to all of Housatonic as Housatonic Village. Just now, Housatonic Village means the core. Growing up, Housatonic Village was always the core. It wasn't the outliers. So just for clarification that maybe boards and committees, when they're referencing Housatonic, they say whether it's the Housatonic Village core, or whether it's, we always called it the town of Housatonic, the village was in the center. So I'm assuming this will not be of any benefit to people on North Plain Road, Division Street, and further down 183 where I live. Because we do not have good internet. It's
Yeah.
not our internet and cell service.
Go ahead, Chris.
I can't answer that, Michelle.
Mhm.
Part of that depends on where the fiber optic provider can pull services. So they built the essentially the trunk line, the middle mile, if you will,
Mhm.
into the village.
Yeah, yeah.
From there, where can they go?
Yeah.
And where do all those other blood vessels go? I don't know.
Yeah.
So that'll be something that interested customers could contact Fiber Connect and see,
Okay.
can we connect, and is it a reasonably priced connection to wherever you're going?
But when things are presented to citizens of Housatonic, some clarification to go in there. It's
Thanks.
discussed.
Thanks, Michelle. Anyone else? Next is the Board of Registrars. Liz?
So. Included in the packet for this evening is a memo by myself and Town Clerk Josh Rosen, and talking about how there's a need for 2 additional Board of Registrars to be appointed by the Select Board. The terms are for 3 years, it's starting April 1st to March 31st. And currently there are 2 seats in, there are 4 seats in total, 2 for each actual registered party, a national recognized party. So 2 seats for Democrats, 2 seats for Republican. These individuals, their task is to actually register the votes and make sure that the voting count is accurate. So there has to be an even number of each representation from the political parties. Currently, we have 2 seats vacant, one from a resignation. And the second actually is that it was termed out. There is no reappointment process actually identified in Mass General Law. So there's only appointment process. We double checked with the actual election offices in the state to make sure that, I know that in the past, the town may have reappointed people, but we have double checked the process and that actually is not, it is not the correct process. So we're following correct procedures. So the process is to have a certified letter sent to the Republican Party because those are the 2 seats available. They have 45-day window to send a list of people within the party that are interested in being appointed. If there is no list submitted, then it is up to the board to determine who on the Republican seat, who is actually registered Republican, you pull out a call to action for people and get interested people. So, but at least it gives the chair of the party from Great Barrington the opportunity to identify at least 3 people that could fill the 2 seats for your consideration.
Do I have a motion?
I move to have the town manager send a certified notice to the local Republican Party chair on behalf of the Select Board, requesting a list of 3 qualified party members for appointment consideration within 45 days.
Do I have a second? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Next is the annual authorization of fire department mutual aid within Berkshire County Fire Chiefs Association, Inc.
Thank you, on behalf of the chief. It's a standard administrative of the chapters, 48, section 59A. Chapter 48 is about fire. And that has been adopted within the statute that was back actually, I think in 1928 or 29. Around that time, this section actually does not require a town meeting vote for adoption. It's just automatic when you adopt chapter 48. So it is just a acknowledgement that the Great Barrington, that the Select Board, the way that the statute is written that the select board does have to vote to authorize mutual aid assistance, but that also means that we receive it, besides just giving it. So, it does require the select board's vote, and this, the fire chief is asking for that.
Right.
Do I have a motion?
I move to authorize the Great Barrington Fire Department to extend such aid, subject to such conditions and restrictions as may be prescribed as outlined in MGL Chapter 48, Section 59A.
Do I have a second? Any discussion, questions?
Mutual aid is obviously very needed in this area. so
Yes.
It's great.
All in favor?
Right.
Unanimous. Annual town meeting and annual town election calendar.
Also in your packet is a memo from me and the town clerk, just outlining the dates associated with town meeting and the election calendar. There is a window of time for citizen petition, which will begin tomorrow if the board chooses to do so. Josh and I have also checked with the state officials to make sure that we are in compliance with our dates for elections, which this calendar reflects that. So the citizen petition for the annual town meeting, if it is to be held, which the board did vote in December on holding it on May 2nd, this would actually formally adopt that as the town meeting date, and then all of the other dates would become official as well in our, as outlined in our budget action calendar, as well as the election calendar attached to my memo. And then citizen petition would open tomorrow when town hall opens and close a month later, February 13th, at 4:00. When town hall closes, and town election would be held May 12th from 8 AM to 8 PM.
Do I have a motion?
I move to open May 2nd, 2026 annual town meeting warrant for citizen petition on Tuesday, January 13th, 2026 at 8:30 AM and close citizen petition on Tuesday, February 13th, 2026. And to vote on the 2026 town election calendar and to hold an annual town election on May 12th, 2026 from 8 AM to 8 PM.
Do I have a second?
So I just have a question.
Go right ahead.
This Tuesday is not pertaining to what Eric says. He said it was on Tuesday, but it's
No.
Friday.
It's Friday, February 13th.
Okay.
Yeah, it was incorrect, yes.
Thank you.
Question, how is the town, obligated to, communicate or advertise the opening of the citizen petition window?
Depends on the charter and the bylaws as well as the state requirements. Some towns differ, so I will have to check with Josh on that. If it has to be posted in the post office in any other area, sometimes it's very specific, sometimes it is a little bit looser in language and requirements, but we will make sure that it is posted tomorrow on the front landing page, okay?
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Citizen speak time. Yeah, come on, right up, state your name and address, please.
Louise Goldsmith, 1026 Main Street, Housatonic. I moved here 10 years ago for a job opportunity and have lived here with my family ever since. We've watched our taxes go up over the past 10 years. I have concerns that this trend will continue, based on, of course, the new school, the bridges that need repair, the proposal to purchase this town water company, all of which I'm in favor of. I understand there is a state residential tax exemption that could lower the majority of Great Barrington residents' tax burden. And I would urge this select board to prioritize adopting that residential tax exemption and restructuring the town tax rate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. John?
Yeah.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I'm here again.
Just state your name and address just for the record, John.
Yes.
We all know you, but
State 151 Christian Hill Road. I'm here again to put in a word for what I see as a continuing need for the revision and clarification of the 2017 Great Barrington Trust Policy. Over the weekend, I wrote a letter with a lot of detailed background to KCPs, who is one of the employees of State Senator Paul Mark. And I sent a copy of it to all 5 selectmen and to our town manager. I don't know if you had a chance to read that memo, or whether you have clicked on the link to the discussion 7 years ago this month about Article, the trust policy. A discussion between me, wasn't really between me and Chief Welch. We were each speaking in citizen speak time about whether something had occurred had been a violation of the policy. And I'm still rankling about what happened that evening. I documented thoroughly, and I have given the 6 of you some documentation by email of my attempts to follow up on this issue in the late winter and early spring of 2019. And I'm tougher now than I was 7 years ago. So politically, I'm tougher. I'm not a politician. I don't intend to run for any of the seats that come open on this board. But I'm an advocate. I've said this to Steve many times in the last 15 years. And so so what happened 7 years ago is not water under the bridge. It shouldn't be referred to. The select board, not you, not the 5 of you here tonight, and the town manager, 2 town managers ago, abused the select board's own written policies and procedures. Those policies and procedures call, I believe it's section 12B, for anything brought up in this time period, citizens speak, to be gotten, to get back to the speaker of it within something like 72 business hours, and to send a written reply or response to the citizen. And also, if it can't be handled as a matter of routine administrative business by an employee of the town, like the town manager or Chris Rimbaud, as assistant town manager, it's mandatory. There's no choice. You have to put it on a select board agenda and there's an item for discussion. And the treatment I received that night, specifically from Vice Chairman Abrams, was way out of order. And so I have a question here to ask you, not for discussion, just for information. Has any of you had time to click on that 10-minute segment where Chief Walsh and I are speaking?
I have not yet.
It's in the email, or it's embedded as something you can just click.
I will, but I have not yet.
Yeah.
John, just, you're up to 5 minutes, so if you could just wrap it up, it's quick.
5 minutes already? Wow.
Well, 4 minutes and 41 seconds, but I figured by the time I told you that, it'd be a 5 and I won't count that.
Well, 7 years ago, Steve, you gave me 4 and then you gave the chief 6. And you let the vice chairman violate your own rules of order. And the town manager did not get back to me, which town policies and procedures say she was supposed to do. I even met with her in her office. Now, she was on her way out, then I was kind of losing interest, I think, in the job. But, you know, you're sworn to a job, you do it until they didn't leave. And so, I'm running out of energy then. And so I'm attempting to enlist more people, to show up at these meetings, like Erica came twice. I'm still not speaking for them, but this is a matter of urgency now, with the shootings that have occurred in 2 of our major cities in the last week. Okay.
Thank you, John, I appreciate it. Erica?
Yeah, Eric Milky, 360 Park Street in Housatonic. I thought the meeting started at 6. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I have no idea what was already said this evening. I am reiterating what John said. We certainly do need to revisit the trust policy. My understanding is that most of you are in agreement. I feel like I heard third party that we're on the agenda potentially for that in February.
We are really waiting for Gwen
Okay.
and Multicultural Bridge to say they're ready to come to us.
Got it. So I was speaking with Gwendolyn just before this, because she has board meetings exactly at this time, and she said she, I don't want to feel too much. She was meeting with somebody who said it was on a February agenda item. And if that is the case, that would be awesome to know, if that's the case.
I think what we really are waiting for is.
You're waiting for Gwendolyn to say.
Well, it doesn't have to be Gwen, a representative of Bridge to say, yes, we've revised the trust policy and we want to bring it to you for discussion.
Okay, so an important step in that is a community conversation, and if Gwendolyn were able to be here, she wanted to invite everyone to join in a community conversation on MLK Day, a week from today. It is gonna be involve the new interim or acting police chief. He's agreed to be there for a lunchtime conversation and panel. I understand that not everybody could make it.
Some of us have to work,
Some of you
unfortunately.
don't have the day off.
Yeah.
But anybody who is interested, if you want to talk to me or reach out to Gwendolyn, she would love to have you be part of the panel. Chief Carlotto is gonna be there and is looking forward to and open to these next steps. He was around for the first one and was part of all the trainings. There's also gonna be a portion of it honoring Dr. Du Bois, by the statue in the morning. Honoring, there's a quote about Dr. Du Bois by Martin Luther King. I thought I was gonna have all these minutes to pull my thoughts together during the course of the meeting. Yeah, so, and the final thing is to ask about status of Du Bois banners, just to get it on record, what is actually the situation. I understand you guys had a conversation, but just.
Yes, yeah, I talked to Gwen about it. Yes,
What's actually
Yeah.
the status.
Okay.
What next steps are.
thank you.
Erica, can I just ask
Yeah.
time and location for that meeting?
Yeah, so it's 12:30 p.m. I'm 90% sure it's at Bridge at the Solidarity House. It's either that, because some events for MLK Day are happening at Macedonia Church, but I'm 90% sure it's there, but I can follow up. But definitely would be helpful to Gwendolyn to have it either participants in the group discussion or in the actual panel that we will be with Gwendolyn and Chief Carlotto.
Thank you very much.
What's the date?
It's a week from today. It's MLK Day. So there will be acts of service and stuff. But thanks, guys.
Thanks. Michelle, come right up.
I'm with Erica on this. I got hung up at work and I feel like I walked right in the middle of everything. So if I say something that's already been discussed,
No problem.
just let me know. Michelle LeBaire, 70 Division Street. There's been considerable amount of discussion regarding the redactions that are going on with regard to information that's going out to the public. And I don't know if any of you.
I'll just say, Michelle, you can talk about all you want. It was in the town manager report, which will be online tomorrow, so you might want to catch up with that.
Doing that, I don't know if anyone had attended the planning board meeting last week by Zoom, but I was really upset when I saw the packet that the planning board had issued out. reference to if you wanted information, you would contact the town hall. You could come to the town hall and look at it. It fell under the public records request. Well, as we know, we have 48 hours notice to do, to review a packet. If there's an issue under the planning board or anything else, you want to be informed. You don't have, if you're working full-time, you don't have enough time to come to the town hall. Chris Rumbold was very gracious and he said, don't worry about it. If you need an unredacted packet, just reach out to me, which is fine and good, but is everyone going to do that? So, and for example, referencing the public records law, you have 10 days to respond. That's not going to work either. So, I thought it was really interesting when I read regarding redacting name and address, but I just stood up and gave my name and address here, so it's competing with one another.
Just for the record, I can't force you to do that.
What's that?
I can't force you to do
Yeah.
that.
But it's, trust me, any 10-year-old on Google can do it. You know, it's not that difficult. But I did a little research. I went out on a couple other towns. I was actually really shocked. I went on Mass Municipal and the scam that is going on, I didn't see any kind of reference to it. But I checked other towns and wanted to find out what they were doing. What was interesting, if you go onto their website, I didn't see a lot of reference locally to the scam at all. But I went out to several towns, for example, Wellfleet, Massachusetts. As soon as you open up their webpage, they have a big notice regarding it. Cambridge, if you go out there, they have a big notice about it. This one is Cheshire, Connecticut. Same thing, you open up the website, there you go. This is Brattleboro, Vermont. They have a big red scam alert when you go in. So my fear is, I'm not saying anybody's doing anything wrong, but I think we may be going to an extreme on it, to the point where we're constricting openness and transparency. And that's a little scary to me. And so I don't know what was said during Liz's town manager's report. I'll download it tomorrow, look at it. But even though there may be some sort of basis for doing it, the optics on it aren't very good. And as I told the planning board, when I did my master's thesis, part of it was on openness and transparency in government. And I would go town to town to town to town, attend meetings, and then I had to do an analysis of what towns were open and transparent, what towns weren't. Well, sadly, Great Barrington did not rank #1. They ranked #2 when all the data was downloaded. And I certainly don't want to see it drop down any further than that. So I look forward to reading Liz's town manager's report. Again, a 5 o'clock meeting is difficult when you work full time to get here. You don't work right in town.
I get it.
So, okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Michelle. Eileen? Bill, you'll be next. You'll be next, Bill. I'll get Eileen and then you.
I just wanted to say that the newsletter has asked the open meeting law or Division of Open Government and the Public Records Division people whether the redactions are appropriate. I can't find anything in the laws that say they are. That's all.
Thank you, Eileen. Appreciate it. Bill, come on up.
Hi, my name is Bill Meyer. I live 11 George Street. I'd like to thank all you guys for your volunteer and what you do for us. We appreciate it. I was at the meeting about a year ago. Michael Wise and Peter Most stood here and made a presentation about the residential tax exemption. I thought it was a great idea at the time, and as discussions were going on about the school, building new school, and all the infrastructure issues that we have in town, I really believe that that was something that should be discussed by you, by all of you. And I was at when we decided our tax rates 2 weeks ago, and or if that was around 2 weeks ago, I was so happy to hear Garfield raise that issue, and I thank you, Garfield, for for raising the issue again. And I just want to say that, you know, I talked to a lot of people in town. There's a lot of people who support this. And I hope you guys really keep it on your radar. I know that's not a decision that's going to be made immediately, but there are a lot of people out there who are really looking forward to it, to you thinking about that.
It'll be on our agenda for the next meeting with the seasonal community.
Really
Both
appreciate
of
it.
us.
And once again, thank you guys for what you do.
Thanks, Ben. Go right ahead.
Toby Stanton, 69 Division Street. I just wanted to talk about the trust part of this that John had brought up and how important that is. And I'm not positive that I actually identified myself when I introduced some stuff to the public record. And I don't know if I have to redo it because I didn't introduce myself. So I need a little clarification on that. I also don't know what was done about that because I really don't have any way to pursue any compensation for my loss without the fireman's report. And I thought I would have heard from somebody from the town, at least just to like say, I'm sorry this happened, let me find out what happened. Because I don't know what my next move is. I'm a citizen here in this town. I have helped so many people in Main Street build their businesses. I've started Forest Row, I've built up there, I've been all over this community, putting it together, helping people, and I get nothing from you guys.
You will, Toby. In the next 2 weeks, you will hear from the town manager.
Thank you.
I'll speak for Liz, but I know how she acts.
Okay.
Right, Liz?
Thank you, I just got
Can
one.
you do me a favor? Can you email her with a little synopsis? Yeah, of what the concerns are. Just,
Okay.
sure, I know what they are, but I don't
really
want to.
don't want to drag anybody into the mud here, and it is potentially very dangerous for Great Barrington.
In general, if you would just email her, not specific.
Thank you.
That would be terrific.
It's not a citizen speak. Name and address. Remember, there was minutes of a meeting and the person who transcribed the minutes couldn't identify and it was Toby who had spoken.
He did give his name and that.
No, this is previously.
Okay, previously,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Thank
it's
you, Michelle.
on that.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle.
Thought I'd bring that
Yeah,
up.
I forgot about that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, select board time, Phil,
No, thank you.
Ben.
Just to kind of touch on the trust policies, we have a lot of priorities going into this year, and thank you, John, for helping make sure that that is on our policy, and that I hope everyone's gonna attend that meeting next Monday. The events of the last week, I think have shown just how important it is for us to know exactly what our plan is here at Barrington. Thank you.
Thank you. Garfield?
Just a couple of things. One, actually, we are not volunteers, we are paid, just so you say that we volunteers. And the other thing is, please be careful, especially if you're an older citizen like myself. I had a phone call the other day with a gentleman who claimed he was with Medicare. Don't answer any questions. I actually checked with Medicare, they do not call. But it's funny though, I did call the Medicare fraud line it was given. And when I called it, I spoke, there was someone there, and then they asked me for the numbers on my Medicaid. Even though they're supposed to, I hung up on them because I just didn't know. But so please be careful if you're getting any calls, because they will try to get us senior citizens and filter out every dime you have. So be careful.
Thanks, Garfield. Eric?
Nothing at this time, thank
I
you.
have nothing. Any media time? By unanimous consent, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.